There we go. Let's see here. Is it kicking over? There we go. Cool. So, how's it going, guys? I'm going to show you the basics on how to sketch some scrolls for metal engraving. So let's just get into it. I'll post it to the page, and I think from there you guys will be able to watch it if nobody ends up watching it live. So the basics of scrolls are pretty simple. I'll go through the basic components on how to structure scrolls so they always look good. If you look on the paper here, I'm using the 6B pencil. So here's the basics, alright? First things first is starting off with the backbone. So how we're going to do this, you start off with a small little scroll. And carry that one off into a bigger scroll, almost touching. So about like that. I'm holding my pencil in a weird angle so I can stay in the view of the camera. Let's just get this basic shape on there. So this is what we'll say the basic start of a scroll. And we'll do this, you know, a mix between American scroll work and English scroll work. Okay, so from here, we want to fill inside the body. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to start here in this little nub, we'll call it. And you want to kind of follow the backbone, which is the main shape we just drew. And then start coming out, almost to touching. And you're kind of following all the same shapes. Everything should be similar shapes. The radiuses should all relatively match. You don't want anything being unproportionate. So we'll come in here and we'll just make this basic shape, following close to the backbone over here. Now from this line that we've created just off of the backbone, we're going to create another line doing close to the same thing. We're going to follow and come out almost touching. Another little nub. Bring it back almost touching the backbone. We're going to do the same thing, following off that last little line. Kind of coming and following the general shape of the backbone. Build that nub up, follow along the spine of the backbone, or the backbone, sorry. And follow that line coming off here. You can do two things here at this point. You could either carry this all the way in and just kind of end it off, or you can make another little bit of a nub. These are leaves on the inside, and then kind of come off of that, and then you just want to connect the end of that spiral. So as you can see, we have, you know, the basic shape. So now we want to build off of this a little bit. Everything should flow smoothly off. So let's follow this back line here. And then kind of come off with another scroll coming this way. Let's go around here. And we'll call that good for now. So now, we want to do similar like we did in this general area. We're going to want to do that up in this general area. So with this, you know, little branch coming off of the back, what we're going to do is kind of start out here and then smoothly transition it into the spine of the initial drawing. And then we'll kind of bring that nub back, coming out of the same spot. Another nub, another nub, and we'll just call that good right there. Okie dokie. Now, so now you can see the basics kind of sketched out there. We'll go in and kind of refine some stuff, and I'll explain what it is as we go. So let me jump over here and see if there's any comments coming along. I've got to go to the bottom and check. I'm not sure if you guys are able to comment or not if you're watching on YouTube, but if you can, that would be cool. That way I can kind of keep up with what you guys are saying. This one will be short and quick, so. Cool. All right, so now let's kind of refine what some of these things are. We can zoom in here and kind of build everything up a little bit. So first off, what we'll do is we'll take the opacity of this down just a little bit so it's roughly there. We're going to open another layer. And now let's come in here with let's try some inking. We're going to come in with the technical pen. I haven't really adjusted this pen much, so it might be a little wonky, but let's kind of just get into it anyways and see what we could do. So when you're engraving on some of this stuff, what you want to do is, sorry about that. What you want to do is you want to start real thin in here, and as you come out in real, like you would do as if you were really hand engraving, and you want to build up your cut and then kind of fork out. And then the same kind of comes from here. I guess I could adjust the strokes on this pencil so it's a little smoother. The pressure sensitivity on it is pretty crazy. Let me just switch the pen. I'm just gonna go to a standard. Let's see. Let's try this one. I don't like that one. Let's go to sketching. Technical pencil. Okay, now let me fix the strokes on it. There we go. Where is it? Okay, cool. So we want to start kind of off in here. Work our way up into this little point. And add a little characters to the leaf here. And we're just roughing this out. This is going to be our base layer. We'll trace over this to make it a little cleaner and stuff. I'm holding my iPad in a way that I'm not necessarily used to, so that my face stays on screen. This is the first time I've ever broadcasted from Procreate. It's pretty cool. Alright, so let's drag this bad boy across and coming from out here. Oh, overshot that. We're just adding a little more dimension to these shapes. I usually stick with, 2 or 3 little humps per leaf. I try not to overdo it too much once you get into the shading and stuff. Right here in these, what I like to do is kind of just do a little fold over on the leaf. It's just kind of one of the things I like to do. Alright, now let's start driving this thing around here. You can see we're getting these nice flowy leaves kind of twisting all around. Fold this guy over. Sorry, I'm trying to hold up this iPad and draw at an angle I'm not used to. Okay, so there we go. There's a little bit of a basic scroll going on there. Alright. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. I'm still at the shop, but I wanted to get a little something on camera before I left for the day. Okay, so now this is looking good. The shapes are relatively nice. Now we want to add some thickness to the back of it, and so it's not just one big round, back. Unless that was, the corner of a border, and we were gonna, engrave, along the top of a letterhead or something, and this was a little corner we wanted, and then we could, do something, whatever, off of this way and kind of come down here and follow those. But let's say that's not what we're going to do. We're going to want to add some leaves around this portion here to kind of fill that out, and along here to kind of fill that out. So basically what I'll do is I'll start off one side, and then just like we did these patterns on the inside, I kind of just do the same thing out here, just going the opposite direction. I'll get a rough little sketch, as you can see. And there you've got a little bit of background leaves. And I'm just roughing in some shapes here. These are going to change. I just want to kind of fill it out so you guys can see what I'm doing here. There you go. Now we have a little bit of background leaf goodness. Alright, let's do the same thing over here. But these ones, we're just going to do like such. Alright, so we have some basic shape there. And from here, we can do a little leaf. See how it's 3 little humps coming off of there? And you can do a little bit of fill in here. Okay, so now we've got a basic little, portion of a scroll spinning around. Now let's go through and kind of trace this out. We're going to merge these 2 layers down. So now we have one whole layer. We're going to take the entire opacity down again on this thing. And now let me try and manage to do this holding it in this weird way I'm not used to. So let's bring the size of this pen down. There we go. Let me zoom in over here. I'm gonna adjust this. Sorry. These backings on this iPad are just kind of crazy. Okay, that's a little better. So let's start tracing around here. Oop. And after I do one, especially on Procreate, once I do one decent little spiral, I'll stop, because what happens is if you draw all these crazy things here and you just keep following it, and all of a sudden, oop, you mess up, you need to erase just this little corner here you didn't want there. You go to do and then you've basically erased the entire thing. So a little bit at a time and then stop. Alright, now let's bring this corner back in here. This little nubber here. And we're going to basically just outline everything we've done a little bit cleaner. All of these other doodles and chicken scratches and sketches and stuff were really just our first initial layout. This is where we'll kind of come in and clean everything up. You can see everything's kind of symmetrical. It all fits within the same area. So these big spirals when you're drawing, a little bit at a time in case you mess up. Say you kind of, at least you only have a little bit instead of getting all the way perfect and then getting right here and being like, oh man, and then boom, you have to erase the entire thing. That's a real pain in the butt. So, okay, where are we at here? All right. there is a little bit of a learning curve to getting used to the iPad. Alright, now let's come over here.